One game to decide it all. We are in game 7 of this best of 7 between Bonyth, the best Protoss player from outside of Korea, and Mihu, the best Terran player from outside Korea. China versus Poland here. It's been a pretty crazy series. We definitely see that there's a lot of scuffling in the early games here. So very action-packed. And whoever gets the advantage on those scuffles tends to win the game. So I'm not sure if that's going to occur here as well. We're on Vermeer, which is one of our big macro maps. I feel like it's a little bit less likely to have a lot of engagements early on. But, you know, these guys have been pulling the trigger and doing that. So hold on to your pants, hold your horses. I don't know. This is going to be crazy. It's been a good series. Hope that you guys have enjoyed it. And honestly, like, I feel like Mihu wins almost every time against Bonyth, so I was really thinking, especially when it was 3-1, that this was going to be another one-sided series, but coming out pretty well. Definitely looks like it could go to Bonyth. Like, he's on a bit of a streak now. I think he's figured himself out a bit. Definitely those disruption webs are doing some work. I really wonder if that's something that could catch on, by the way. That's definitely different. Like, the only time I've ever seen anything quite like this. It's not anything like the old disruption web builds that I've seen from Protoss. Either way, Bonyth right now going to go ahead and scout. Looks like he is going to scout Mihu first, and Mihu is going for a gasless expansion. So what happens if you scout them first when they're going gasless? They just take their gas and get a slow factory. But you are going to be completely safe. Honestly, when you scout this, I would love to see Bonyth just throw a Nexus down as quickly as possible. There's no real attack that can come out of a build like this. So Bonyth going down. His probe going to come up this ramp. Pop over here. Mihu should instantly send an SCV. Oh, God. He doesn't send an SCV. So that's a little bit surprising. He probably will start a bunker. No? Oh, he just sends the SCV out to scout. Not like what I was expecting in any way here. In fact, even this depot is a bit late, so he's going to get supply blocked. See, now when this SCV finishes, basically, you have to wait a little bit. You know, it's not a huge amount of time, but like, if you're going gasless expand, you were hoping that the probe wouldn't get here right away. Now he has to attack it. He's not building an SCV. He has to chase the probe out. He hasn't found where Protoss is. He doesn't know if a Zealot's on the way. Really, there's a lot going on here where I feel like Bonyth definitely has a better opener at this point. The probe going to try to sneak around. This is a common tactic where you try to remake the assimilator as the SCVs kill it. But Mihu's on top of that. He zones it out with those couple of Marines. And the probe just going to harass this SCV that is building the command center now. So Mihu going to come down. Obviously, he's going to need a bunker up pretty quickly. Bonyth goes ahead and throws down his Nexus. Doesn't start range or anything like that. So, yeah, I mean, even though that looked really good from Bonyth, it did mess up the build of Mihu, but honestly, it doesn't feel like Bonyth is super ahead or anything. Doesn't have range started, so no actual pressure can occur. He might just go Robo or something. Again, you got to take into consideration with this build, like, you can't attack Protoss with it, right? Like, he has 4 Marines. 1 Dragoon can kind of... Well, 1 Dragoon doesn't beat 4 Marines, but, you know, you get a second Dragoon out there completely dead. So, yeah, you're in a very defensive stance early on as Mihu in this situation. So, Robo goes up. This time, I think we will see Reaver. I don't see a reason not to go for a Reaver in this situation, right? Like, what could you even be afraid of here? Nothing really. I think the Reaver do a good job of controlling things, but it seems like Bonyth's style right now is based around getting out those Corsairs a bit quicker, which doesn't necessarily gel with Reaver openings. So maybe I'm off. Maybe he just continues to go for 2-gate Observer, you know, go into those Corsairs with Disruption Web reasonably quickly. All right, second factory for Mihu. See if he wants to get aggressive once again. You can do 2 factory builds that don't attack, like just do Vulture Harassment as opposed to a full-on attack. We have the observatory started up here. So going to be getting very quickly into those observers. And there's the engineering bay with good time. He doesn't really know what's going on at Bonyth Space, so it could be Dark Templars. You're going to want to get that eBay anytime you're not 100% certain of what's going on, because a DT instantly ends the game. So Dragoons coming out. And a third factory very, very quickly. So Mihu has chosen violence for this final game. When you throw down that third factory, you obviously are trying to field a lot of units very, very quickly. I think it's actually quite a good build to go for 3 factory after something like a gas steal. It just kind of gives you units out there to possibly punish Protoss if they're doing things like expanding too quickly. Bonyth looks like he wants to take his third Nexus. Yeah, he's moving this probe up into position. We'll see exactly when he ends up taking that. Double siege tank production right now. And he does have that second gas. Normally you want to start speed pretty quickly here, but it looks like he might want a 4th factory. I don't know. Okay, there's the 4th factory right there. Moves this SCV back. And the observer comes in. So the observer, well-timed, going to find out that, like, oh, this is 4 factory play, right? Oh, I guess he's only seen 3 so far. But still, seeing even 3 factories here, you're like, okay, an attack is coming. So we should see probably more gates added. Yeah, 2 more gates go up. A shuttle on the way. That might just be for Zealot bombs. Oh! Reaver attack. Okay, finally going to see those famous Reavers from Bonyth. So this game right now, you know, a lot of positions that I talk about are going to be decided by a certain attack. At least with Mihu, he'll play it out, and his macro is very, very good, so he actually gets back into a good, strong army and maybe has a second shot there. But that is something I'm thinking about, right? Like, if Bonyth holds this attack well, Mihu is in a lot of trouble. Because he's putting all of his money right now into 4 factory production. There's the academy. He is making a few turrets just defensively, just in case. But, for instance, no armory, no 3rd command center. So he's not really building up towards a good later game here. Now, here come the Dragoons. Backs up with his tanks. Gonna lose 1. Gonna lose 2. Good targeting there from Bonyth. I actually thought he wasn't going to get that last siege tank. The 4 Marines in the bunker, though, did help put a lot of damage out. Loses a few goons. Very worth, though. Very good move from Bonyth. He has to be careful, though. If you lose these 4 for free, like, okay, he gets 1 more, but these Dragoons are very badly hurt. 2 of them should die just to Vulture fire on the way back, which is not what you want to see. Okay, doesn't quite die. He has a Reaver in the shuttle now. Vulture speed on the way. Has that high ground location here for Mihu. Now let's see if he can get some of these Reaver shots off. Oh my god, here we go. The shuttle coming in. Mihu cannot be happy about this. Look at this. The Mine Drag comes in, gets rid of 1 Vulture and a couple mines. Actually saves the Zealot as well. Very nice. Goes ahead and he's trying to target down. Oh, I'm surprised he actually moved back that much against that shuttle. But the shuttle is going to unload this Reaver. Probably target the Marines first here. Oh, he doesn't get the shot off. He doesn't get the shot off. A huge moment. And, ooh, a good Scarab goes down right there. But does kill that off. Still somehow 3 siege tanks left alive. 1 is only at 2 health, so you got to be extra careful with that. We have Vultures being rallied up. Another tank being made as well. You actually kind of forward sieges with that tank. Definitely Bonyth wants to run up and pick that off. Gonna go ahead and pick this one off as well. Vulture's coming in. He needs to get back and close up this wall. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Huge mine explosion there. Mihu, is he going to be able to get the critical damage that he's looking for with this 4 factory play? Just now gets an armory. Doesn't have a lot going on. Not a lot of SCVs as well. Trying to get this damage. The Reaver shot kills off 2 SCVs, so we're not going to have a lot of repairing going on. Lays some mines here. He has units, but they're not in position as of yet. He's microing so frantically. His rally points haven't been switched. Another Scarab goes down and gets the Siege Chink down to 2 health. Laying mines here. Oh my god. Doesn't have anything really to punish that Reaver as it drops on top of his Siege Chink. The Reaver micro here saving Bonyth at the moment. Eats a mine, but gets the Scarab as well. That Siege Chink goes down, and it looks like Bonyth has held. Oh my god, what a frantic battle. And you can see, look at this, Bonyth is up 20 supply. What does Mihu do? 2 more factories. Well, you're not going to get into a macro game comfortably from here. He's certainly right about that. Runs up. He's going to run around with the vultures like a little bit, but honestly, Bonyth is doing a good job, right? He's spread out 2 groups of dragoons to block harassment as best he can. His observer still has really good vision. I think he's probably aware that there's no starport. Little Reaver drop coming in. This isn't the most powerful thing right now. It's kind of like a late Reaver drop. It's a very hurt shuttle. He's got to be careful with it. I think it would probably be appropriate to make a Goliath or 2 here. Yeah, does start a couple up. Starts at Goliath range. He's going into 6 factory. And now that Bonyth has seen the 6 factory... Look, okay, so Stargate as well as Citadel. I think... maybe he'll go to Arbiter? I mean, I guess he could go to Carrier. Obviously, you want the Citadel for those Zealot legs, but just as long as Bonyth produces consistently, he's going to be up a lot of supply. All right, looks like we're going to have Mihu trying to move out here once again. Crazy how many tanks he's already refielded. Really, really good job there. All right, gonna back up from these Reavers. Oh my god. Loses 3 vultures there. Loses a siege tank as well. The Reavers definitely slowing this push quite a bit. The Goliath's very important here to try to keep everything back. Now, this is the worst location to siege as Mihu, as you're going to be missing shots against everything on the high ground. Oh my god, the Reaver shot's unbelievable. Blowing up multiple siege tanks. Mihu has to retreat, down 20 supply right now. He's going to run up and lay some mines to slow this incoming force. He does have the Goliath to push that shuttle back as well. So you can't just dive here as Bonyth. If that Goliath wasn't there, he actually wins by dropping the Reavers like here. But wow, Mihu just holding on by the skin of his teeth. As the 3rd command center started at this point, continuing to produce as best he can. And Corsair production once again. Why did I doubt? All right, Disruption Web is on the way. Forge coming up. Looks like he has done the wall in over here to go ahead and get his own 4th Nexus up. Obviously, Mihu here falling a bit behind. This is very late for a 3rd base. There's been a lot of scuffling. So that makes it a little bit less painful. But realistically, you know, when you look at normal timings for these bases, he's very far behind those benchmarks. And truly, he hasn't done very much damage with his pushes. He's reduced the army count multiple times. He hasn't really killed probes, but he has gotten Bonyth in a spot where Bonyth hasn't produced as many probes, right? So Bonyth's probe count is not particularly high, especially for 4 Nexuses coming up. Honestly, he needs to make a few more. You want mid-60s. A lot of people ask about this, but it's generally agreed upon mid-60s in this matchup for both sides is the best number to have. You know, you will occasionally see games where Protoss gets up into 70s with their probes and just like it does things like mass recalls and has gateways everywhere, right? And just refills really quickly and utilizes that bigger economy. Certainly that is a thing. You know, and for Terran, generally you never really want more than mid-60s on SCVs because your army size just shrinks from there. But yeah, would like to see a few more probes. 48 does feel very, very low right now. 3 carriers being made. Transferring a lot of workers away. In fact, maybe a bit too many. You do want to keep at least 1 probe per patch, so it may be a little mistake there from Bonyth, a little bit light on those bases. Mihu continuing to mass up. He actually, I mean, his production is really, really consistent. Like, that is a very high supply army compared to what I thought we would see right now. You know, he's not that far below Bonyth. Scans going down. He sees that this is primarily a gateway man army, right? Like, we do have the Corsairs, though, off to the side. I have a couple Reavers there. We have carriers being made. Obviously, if you look at this, like, 3 D-webs would pretty much dismantle this army. Mihu's going to have to be very careful about that. Definitely something that Bonyth has been doing fantastically so far in this series. More factories coming up. Mineral patches are starting to get a little bit low, so certainly here is still like okay. They've got almost a third of their starting value, but he does need to think about making that 4th command center now. In fact, that might be where this SCV is going. First carrier's coming in. Going to start harassing. Now, this is not that scary a harass. It's like 2 carriers, right? Or I guess a 3rd one coming in as well. He's got these Corsairs ready for D-Web, but that's just a little poke. He's just kind of checking what's going on. Putting the fear of God into Mihu here. Mihu unsieges. He's got a very big army right now. 58 workers, 174 supply overall. Obviously, the Reavers have been giving him a bit of trouble on this high ground. He's got to be careful at that. Try to clear those without losing too many units. The carriers, though, start making some work on the tanks. Oh, wow. Those volleys just absolutely wrecking. A lot of Dragoons and those Reavers going down. Here he comes, the D-Webs once again being cast. And, well, the Goliaths are actually doing an okay job here, I feel like. And the tanks are split well enough. What an engage from Mihu once again. Maybe a little bit too quick there from Bonyth, and he's going to go ahead and lose one of the Corsairs, another one getting very, very low there. But the D-Web not doing quite as well. Mihu's starting to spread a bit more. This is a tense game, man. For a game number 7, this is perfect. Honestly, I thought Bonyth was going to take it when he stopped that first push, but Mihu's so good at remassing. The only real problem, he just started his 4th base. It's way off to the side, so not really defendable. He's trying to defend it via it being far away. This push, it does feel like this push still needs to do some damage as Bonyth is scaling really well at the moment. He actually took a hilarious Nexus here that could be easy to kill, but Mihu not even looking for it. Looks like he is getting ready to take some more bases as well. And now Mihu going to try to siege up this natural. Bonyth moving around the army. Looks like he wants to go for a counterattack. This could be really deadly. So few units are out right now. Starts laying some mines. Going to go ahead and siege up a little bit as well. And here comes that attack. Oh my god. Kind of crazy, the base trades going on. Now, setting up just a small amount of units here to kill off the Nexuses is generally the right play and to send the rest of your units home. Because you have to stop this army. You can't let the carriers go wild in your base. Here he goes. He's actually starting to go in a little bit. He does have those D-Webs. We don't see him cast yet. The army coming in for a bit of a flank. One disruption web goes down to stop Goliath firing. And the Zealots go up here and get through that D-Web. Oh, man, the Goliath's just not getting anything done. Mihu has a big army coming in, though. Look at the supplies. He's actually killing this Nexus right now as well. We'll see if Bonyth is able to save that. Bonyth running into the back of this base, just picking off units as they come out. The Zealots helping a bit as well. Carrier deaths incoming if he stays here for long. And it looks like Bonyth will fly out. This Nexus died. Oh my god. Is Mihu going to end up winning this game right now? Lots of Goliaths coming down to push back these carriers. The siege chain count is low, but what does Bonyth really have going on? His probe count certainly very low, which does show us that his army supply is a bit better. A lot of that tied up in these carriers. Okay, so Bonyth right now, this is his mining base. Out, dead, dead. So he's literally mining from one base. Mihu has this base, soon to have this base. Few mineral patches left, but those are almost gone. All right, it looks like the probes. What are these probes really doing? I'm not entirely sure. Oh, I forgot he had this Nexus. Maybe he forgot too. That actually makes a huge difference here. I was like, oh my god. Now, the charge lots. Let's see if they can actually get on top of everything. Mihu instantly picks off one of these carriers. Still, 6 carriers do remain. D-Web going down on a big chunk of these units. The Zealots tanking what they can. He splits off to the side. Oh my god, the Interceptor's being shredded right now by these 2 on Goliaths. Only 3 siege tanks remain, so still a hard position to push into. Bonyth really utilizing the terrain here, making it difficult as he picks off siege tanks. the Goliaths would have a very hard time fighting alone in this situation. He comes in once again, a little bit of a flank coming out as well. The siege tanks being one of the first priorities for the targeting here. But it looks like he's going to be able to whittle down this army of Mihu once again. The Goliaths getting very, very low. The siege tanks mostly killed off. Reinforcements coming up. And I think Bonyth is doing it. I think he's clutching it right now with this base and this base mining, killing off that army. The carrier count unbelievably high right now. How does he have 9 carriers? And I mean, what are you doing? You're making a maximum of 9 Goliaths at a time to fight off 9 carriers. That is a tough situation indeed. Comes down, starts targeting command centers. Every Terran knows this position, man. It is a tough one to try to come back from. The carrier's getting so much value throughout. He does have this base mining, which is powerful. But if this one goes down, he's on 1 base, which is just not something that's going to keep you going against this carrier count. Targeting down what he can. Might be able to kill another one. Some of these are very low in health, but unfortunately not targeting the correct ones here are to do in the midst of battle. But it looks like Bonyth should be able to take this game now. Nothing really left over for Mihu. And you know what? With that, it looks like Bonyth going to beat his nemesis in Mihu. Mihu has taken a lot of series off of Bonyth lately, but Bonyth fighting back with his new strategy with those Corsairs, doing a fantastic job in this series, controlling some of these battles immaculately well against probably one of the best Terran engagers in the world in Mihu. And now Bonyth just going in for the final blow. There's no anti-air left. We're going to have to see GG. GG is called, and Bonyth takes a series 4-3.